Welcome to EDN Hypnotherapy. My name is Kevin Wolchansky, and I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I'd like to take a few moments today and talk to you about something that we practice here at EDN Hypnotherapy, and that is paying attention to weight management. Weight management has certainly become very, very popular over the last few years, and there are more and more people out there that are suffering from the identity of not being able to lose weight. In all of the times that I've helped clients through their weight management programs, one of the first things that comes to mind is that they are focused on weight loss. Now, it's an amazing thing because part of what we do here with EDN Hypnotherapy is we start to really focus on what takes place in between your ears before it takes place at your waist or your hips. Because if we can change what takes place in between your ears, then what takes place at your hips or your waist will automatically follow suit. But the term weight loss is something that everybody has now started to generate and become fixed on. And you and I both know that we hate losing things. Who hasn't lost their keys and spent hours and hours looking for them? Who hasn't lost their mind in hopes of finding something else? And so when we change the focus from losing weight because we don't like giving up or losing anything as a human, and change it on managing our weight, we take an entirely different stressor away from how we can perform. Now, I also think at this point in time that it's somewhat important to let you know that I am a hypnotherapist. I am not a hypnotist. So there is no barking like a dog or quacking like a chicken here. I am a therapist that uses hypnosis to help you. And I'm one of the few that has been licensed within the province of Alberta to assist people in the drastic measures when it comes to the all-new virtual gastric band called HypnoBand. Now, it's also important for me to be able to let you know, because there's been a lot of talk about what people think hypnosis is and what it isn't. So I'd like to give you the clinical definition of what we practice here, and that is hypnosis is nothing more than an altered state of awareness. That's all it is, that's all it ever has been, that's all it ever will be. And I can also let you know that in all the years that I've practiced, I've never hypnotized a person in my life. Hypnosis has always been, always will be, self-hypnosis. I just learned how you do it, and I do it better. Now, in having that altered state of awareness, how does that change you? Well, quite honestly, if the activities and the behaviors that you wanted to change you could do on your own, you would never come to see me. You could do them on your own. So in some ways, you're already entered into your own state of trance. And all I do is start changing and altering that state of trance, that thought, that pattern, that belief, so that you can become freer and freer. Really, all I do is I get you out of the way of you long enough for you to discover your own solutions. Most of the people that I do see here at EDN Hypnotherapy are after behavioral change. They have developed a behavior, a pattern, and a set that they cannot escape, that they cannot change. And a lot will use what's known as willpower. It's an interesting thing, willpower. Because I'd like to ask you, if you're exerting willpower, who are you exerting the power of your will over? And once you figure it out, it's actually you. So you not only get to win, but you get to lose in exactly the same moment. And you're exerting that willpower over usually something that is inanimate and doesn't really care one way or the other whether you choose it. What we start to teach you here is how to focus on that which you want, as opposed to having your motivation push against something. It's always easier to move something that you desire than it is trying to push against something you hope doesn't happen. Diet plans in weight loss have been around for years and years and years. As a matter of fact, it's over a $14 billion industry in North America here. And you would think after all of that money, all of that investment, all of that research that has taken place, they would finally discover something that would work for everyone. So why the failure? Why do these plans, these regimens, these shakes not work? And that is quite honestly that it will work for some, but others, it hasn't changed anything in the way that you're thinking. One of the major reasons why diets, diet plans, and shakes don't work is you don't change, don't alter, and you don't address the thinking that goes behind it. Food is always the one that is to blame in these programs. And I'm here to say that food is not to blame. Food is merely the catalyst, the tool that is used to answer what's going on inside of your own mind. We know that in eating, it's a biological function. And we know those people that are out there that can eat absolutely everything they want and never gain an ounce. And there are those that pay particular focused attention on the foods that they do consume and the calories that they do take in and can't lose an ounce. What's the difference? Well, the difference to me starts first and foremost in your own mind. And as we make the changes in your own mind, your body will start to change. At EDN Hypnotherapy, we will utilize a mind, a body, and an emotional healing that takes place all the way through, so that you can release a fear and anxiety, the stress that takes place inside your own mind about foods, about losing weight, about weight itself, and relax into just becoming more and more you, healthier, without the stress. The formula for weight management has always been very, very simple. Calories in cannot exceed calories going out. I'm no rocket scientist, but it seems fairly straightforward. So if that is the case, how is it that they can't achieve the weight and the shape that they so desperately want? Well, the reason for failure, as I said, is that they focus on the food. And the food is never the problem. It's morally just a tool or a catalyst. If your attempts in your weight management and your weight loss have resulted in you feeling deprived, and one of the first things that we talk about is people and the ways that they've tried it. And people let me know about the different diets that they have been on. And one of the first things that usually comes to mind when we speak about diets is that you have to give up something. And that something is usually the foods that you enjoy, or at least you think you enjoy. So if you're going into this with already a sense of being deprived, of having to give up something, then you know as well as I do how long that's not going to last. The second thing being, of course, is that you can lose weight. As a matter of fact, there are lots of plans out there that will help you lose 5, 10, even 15 pounds in a remarkably short period of time. But you do it in such a way that you send your body into a state that is unnatural and unhealthy. And the mind and the body will always return to that which is comfortable and natural. And so you can lose the weight, but once again, as you lose something, you end up finding it again. After some of those plans, you get totally discouraged and you give up. You quit. You quit on the plan and you almost quit on yourself. In some of those plans also out there, you lose money quicker than you lose the weight. How about we stop all of that nonsense? How about we take a look at what seriously, really is going on? And what goes on is our perception of how we view food, how we eat, and how we treat ourselves. If I was to ask you, where do you place yourself, your importance, and your well-being on your own totem pole, in your own list of priorities? My guess is you'd fall somewhat short of being at the top. And until you become the most important component in your life, you're always going to have a struggle with what you would like to achieve. It's fine and admirable to place everybody above you, to care and to want to give to those and make them happy. But quite honestly, until you start paying attention to self, to the only one that you're actually truly responsible for, first and foremost, change is going to be very slow to take place. I'd like to leave you now with 6 cognitive and conscious ways of altering and changing eating patterns to assist you and get you well on your way. If you follow these 6 conscious and cognitive secrets, you will start to change your calories and the way that you perceive food. You will start to alter your weight in a positive form. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1 is invert your eating habits. That's right. Invert your eating habits. And what I mean by that is as follows. I want you to begin and start tomorrow with eating breakfast like you were a queen, with eating lunch as if you were a princess, and eating dinner as if you were a pauper. Too many of us sacrifice eating properly and starting off our day in a healthy manner. The reason why this one change is most significant is that when you have something to eat first thing in the morning, you have the entire day to use it up. Whereas most of us will have our biggest meal in the evening time, usually plunked in front of the TV. I'll get to that in just a second. But if we have our biggest meal in the morning, we have our entire day of activity and exposure to wear it off. Number 2, if at first you feel hungry, have a glass of water and wait 15 or 20 minutes. There are a lot of instances where a sense of feeling hunger is also confused with a sense of being dehydrated. And it's kind of hard to take notice of which one is different. So if you have a glass of water and that feeling is still there 15 minutes later, go ahead and have something to eat. Number 3, give full attention to your meal. I'm often reminded of a vacation that my wife and I took down into a beautiful resort. And the meal was a 6-course meal. And each portion was rather minuscule. And I was thinking to myself that if each portion was this size and this size only, I'd probably have to go for a burger afterwards because I'd be starving. But you also probably learned by now that your stomach communicates with your brain and lets you know that you're full 15 to 20 minutes after the actual fact. So pay full attention to the task at hand. If you're going to eat, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, don't allow yourself to become distracted. Pay full attention to the meal at hand and enjoy and savor each and every morsel of food that you're taking. Secret number 4. Place your utensils down in between each bite. Please, I beg of you, don't eat in front of the TV or while the TV is on. And between each bite, make sure that you're placing your utensils down. Whether it's the fork, the knife, or the spoon, really makes no difference. But I'm sure that we've all seen and been exposed to teenagers and how they eat. And it just seems as if it's an autonomic, robotic situation where they just keep on shoveling it in. Well, if we hope to communicate more efficiently between our stomach and our minds, letting us know when we're starting to feel full, we have to slow that process down. One of the easiest, simplest ways, put your fork down in between bites. That takes us to the next one, and that is on each bite, chew 25 times. 25 times chew your food. Enjoy it, savor it, and slow it down. And number 6, eat more home-cooked, home-prepared meals. Fast foods, although convenient, are highly saturated in all of those things that we should stay away from. We also have a tendency, because they are fast foods, of eating them on the run, in the car, at our desk. and not paying full attention to ourselves or our experiences. I thank you for spending some of this time with me. I look forward to hearing from you. And if you'd like to continue on your journey into weight management, please feel free and give me a call. Be well.